Now it's time for parenting. We have family coach and marriage counselor Bisi Adewale. He's an accountant by training, but called and trained as a family builder to revive and repair broken relationships and marriages. Now we're picking up from where we left off last week on protecting your children from abuse. It's great to have you, sir. You are welcome.
Thank you very much, Mike.
Now let's do a very quick recap for people who probably did not watch it last week. Very, very short. Okay. What did we touch on last week?
Yes, we spoke about the issue of child sexual abuse.
Okay.
And we were able to discuss that it's real.
It's real.
Not something.
Fantasy or
it's not
anything.
fantasy. It's not somebody telling lies. It's real. And we discussed that 1 out of 10 children will be abused before the age of 12.
Okay.
That is a huge amount
number.
of a huge number.
10%.
10%. That's 10%. So if you calculate it among 10 million, among 1 million, you know that
the figures are quite high.
So we emphasize that the parents should be very careful and they should watch out and they should not just give blanket trust to everybody.
Moving on from that now, not giving blanket trust to everybody. At times, it's not always easy for parents to cover all the aces, cover all the holes and ensure that everything does, how can society help when it comes to this? Because it's not something that only the parents can do.
Yes.
How can society help other, facets of society?
When we are talking about a child, we are talking about the society. When a child is spoiled, the society is in trouble. So if you and I, everybody, if we're able to protect that child, we may be preventing evil of tomorrow.
Very true.
Because if a child is mismanaged, the society can be damaged tomorrow. Just one damaged child can cause all havoc in many generations. That is why schools should stand up, religious organization. I know some churches who are organizing this in their churches, their children classes, Sunday school for the children. They are inculcating this thing into their curriculum now. Schools should take it more serious. Government should take it more serious. I think government should make it compulsory in every level of primary and secondary schools so that everybody should be aware. And many organizations like this, thank God for what GVC is doing now. About the third or the fourth week we've been doing this thing.
exactly.
Talking about it and ensuring. We cannot overemphasize it.
Very true. Now, there are two things I want to touch which are very, very salient concerning this matter. The first one has to be with when we hear stories of kids who even bring up these reports, even to their parents and other officials, and they are not believed. And this tends to make a lot of them keep quiet and stay in silence and still continue suffering in silence.
Yes.
How do we treat cases of where the victim is being shamed or the victim is not believed, especially when it has to do with the parents, when the parents even believe the victim?
Because I think last week I said something.
Okay.
There's this statistic that says 80% of people that abuse children are people known to children, people very close. And they say 50% of them are family members. So now, the younger brother of the mom or the younger brother of the dad is the one molesting the daughter. So now, if the child now come around and say, "Mom, Uncle so is doing something," say, "No, don't spoil this family, don't destroy my marriage. That cannot happen. Your brother is this. Your brother is Len. He went to school. He's a graduate. How can he be? I don't destroy. Do you really know what you are doing?" But I want to tell parents now that this statistic that says 95% of the time, if a child says somebody is molesting me, the child is telling the truth.
Telling the truth.
They cannot fabricate. So believe your child. Anytime the child is saying it, please believe him.
Even if it is at the risk of the family scattering, it doesn't matter.
You know what? The risk of the family is not as greater compared to the risk to the life and the destiny of that child.
Okay, now the second one is when we have issues that concern the clergy, when it is within religious confinements. And people, the same way it happens in the family, where people try to cover, it also happens. We've had some cases where within the clergy say, "Oh, no, let's keep this within." And at times you hear about the victim going through emotional distress and they tend to push away the victim because you want to protect the, how do I put it now, the reputation of the clergy most of the time. What do religious organizations, what can they do in this regard?
I've seen situations whereby the issue of the clergy, in fact, the most terrible one is when it is the dad that is molesting the child. That one is more terrible. I saw...
Within the clergy?
Within the clergy. It may be in the house, it may be in the church, it may be when, if a clergy is the one molesting your child, that clergy is not a clergy. He is a predator, and he should be treated as such.
As such.
It's a crime. It is not just something that a random thing. And if somebody does it and he is not punished for it, he will do it again and again, and somebody will see it and say, so person is not punished for it, I can do it too.
So the effects are far-reaching, far and wide.
And the child that was molested and the person was not punished for it, the child will grow up to molest other people. So we call these secondary predators, and they are more terrible because they are coming for vengeance. They are coming with vengeance in their hearts. So they may have reason why in their heart they have reason to do it. Compared to primary predators. Secondary predators, they think they are going on.
Don't them, so
somebody did it to me, why should I not do it to the child?